Oh, bloody hell.
Hello, guys. I hope you're well. I'm just going to say one mad statement and get that out of the way. I'm going to laugh, otherwise I'll cry. They've shipped 4 at the Etihad. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I miss you, Gaffer. That is all I'm going to say. That is all I'm going to say. But
wouldn't happen on his watch.
It wouldn't happen on his watch. It never did.
Beat us that much. Never.
Right. We'll get into the topics on what we're talking about. Hope everyone's well. Manager news. Rashford. Transfer news, which also kind of ties in with Rashford. Darren Fletcher. Garner. Cavani. Ranić quotes. And some Roy Keane quotes as well, because I feel like it's absolutely necessary to have some Roy Keane quotes in there. The review of the derby. Sorry, what was you going to say something there?
You're joking.
Preview of Spurs as well. So we'll get into the manager news now. There's an awful lot to unpick. This is from the 2nd, so 5 days ago. I feel like it's quite progressed quite a lot since then. Erik ten Hag has taken English lessons as he prepares to talk to Manchester United. Erik ten Hag is said to have his heart set on a move to Manchester United at the end of the season. And then the same journalist who wrote this article said Erik ten Hag already speaks good English, but fact he's trying to improve indicates where he might see his future. Jonathan Schrager says Ten Hag has been contacted by Manchester United to find out about his situation. Mike, I don't know how to pronounce this, but he's like his news for Ajax's gospel from what I've heard. Mike Vijay chances Erik ten Hag to Manchester United are rising. He's also said Ralph Rangnick is a fan of Erik ten Hag and very charmed by his style of football. And we'll get into another piece of news in 1 second. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on all of that and the fact that it seems he has his heart set on Manchester United, although it seems we won't make top 4. What is your thoughts on that, Kyne? Do you think he'll come?
I think he will come. And judging by the reports, it seems like we are trying to get him. And I think that's the right thing to do. I feel like he's the best man to lead us forward. And if he's backed, the right signings will allow us to go on to win plenty of trophies and hopefully not get battered on derby days.
Yeah. Right. Definitely. Hopefully we don't get battered on any more derby days ever again. What's your thoughts, Gavin?
Yeah, he'll probably end up coming to the Premier League, but he'll go to Tottenham to replace Conte. Conte will go to PSG. Poch will go to Real Madrid, and we'll end up with Ancelotti.
Oh, that sounds painful.
But you can sort of see it happening, but nah. I think it depends on where we finish in the table, but I love the fact that most journalists that are out there now are saying there's been a change in tack, that Poch is not the front runner for the job now. I'm not paying attention to the likes of PSG saying he's not going anywhere. What else are they going to say? They're going to say, yeah, you can have him at the end of the season. But I'm glad that they're exploring the possibility of having Ten Hag, because I think that he matches more in line with what Ralph is planning with regard to the structure of the club. I think he fits that more than what a Poch would, for instance.
Yeah, I've had so many conversations, I'm sure. Well, we definitely both have, considering both of you have had so many times had a go at me over the past 6 hours, never mind 24 hours.
145 comments in half an hour. I mean, there's being cooked. And, I mean, you were stir-fried, mate, I tell you.
Yeah, I was properly cooked in that group chat. But we'll move on to more news. Before that, I'm gonna put something forward to you guys. It's gonna sound absolutely mental. Just hear me out and don't go all, oh, you stupid, this, that, and the other. Just explore the possibility of it. right, it's looking likely Manchester United won't get the top 4, obviously. If we do not get top 4, I don't think it will be a terrible, catastrophic thing. If you'd have asked me yesterday, I would have, and someone had said that to me yesterday, I would have gone absolutely mental at them. I would have just screamed in the face. But I don't think it will be a catastrophic thing, because if we've got Erik ten Hag, I feel like we would be likely to win the Europa League next season with Erik ten Hag, and rather than win the Champions League. And to start off winning trophies is a great thing. I know we want to be winning Europe's elite trophies, Champions League, the Club World Cup, etc., Premier League, FA Cup. But I feel like we need to start off small, considering we've not won a trophy in 5 years, and it's a sad reality, but it is a reality. I just want to put that forward to you guys. But we'll go into more news. David Ornstein, this is, let me find out. This is yesterday at 17 minutes past 7 p.m. And before I read it out, a lot of people were saying this is PR spin. I don't believe it is, because I've seen this same thing being said so many times from so many different journalists over the past few weeks. And what he said is Manchester United understood to have started meeting candidates as part of process to appoint a permanent boss, and aim to make a decision in the next few weeks. So new man fully involved in squad construction for next season and beyond. That is in partnership with Laurie Whitwell and The Athletic. Now, there's certain journalists out there which I do not have respect for, and you know that I've made my opinions quite clear on that. But the likes of David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, who's also speaking about this, Laurie Whitwell, who's also speaking about this, Andy Mitten, who mentioned it quite briefly on the video that I did with him. To me, it says something that they're trying to put a plan in place and make the decision within the next few weeks, possibly to a month and a half at most. I want to get your opinion on that, Gavin. Do you think it's PR spin, or do you think this is genuinely true?
Well, I think a mixture of both, really, because I think they've sort of got to do that, because it's one of those situations where you get to this sort of time of the year and you start putting the feelers out for players in the summer. So you've got to do the same with the management. And although you might not be able to go up and get things completely done because of, the rules and whatnot, I do think that we are definitely putting the feelers out to see, A, whether they'd want to come, B, what it would take for them to come. Are there any sort of things that they'd have in a contract, anything that they'd want? Hi, Robbie, by the way, in the chat, and Kyne, your PA is well.
I will get into the comments in a minute once we finished on this one.
But I do think that it's wise to do it now, because we need somebody that's going to come in the summer, day one, and hit that ground running. And we're not going to do that if we leave it till the summer to start looking. We make that sort of mistake. How many times do we do a quick deal in the summer when it comes to players, or in the January transfer? It always goes towards the end. Yeah. So it is refreshing to hear that kind of thing, but it's when they do it. It's when these things get put out. That's where people like Conspiracy Kyne comes out of the woodwork, where, it just feels like, yeah, it is real, but it could also be doubled as PR. I can see both sides.
Yeah. Before I go to Kyne, and obviously we've spoken about PR quite a lot, and I've spoken about it on another account and not my main account quite a lot. And I feel that. What did he say?
You're George on Twitter.
Yeah. But with PR, and people say a lot of PR spin. When I say I don't mind it, of course I mind it, but I understand Manchester United. I won't get into whether they should or shouldn't put public relations or the public image as a priority or not. I won't get into that, but it is a priority for them. And I understand why they do it. They have to protect their image. We've got, is it the most sponsors out of any football club in the world? I don't want to brag about that, and I'm not bragging about that. But what I'm saying is they have to protect their image, and they have to do that. So I do understand to an extent.
It is a business, and at the end of the day, when you've got business and you've got shareholders and you've got sponsors, there has to be a positivity when it comes to public relations and all sorts of different things. Because at the end of the day, that the only way they're going to make these investors happy to put the money into the club is by putting the club in a good light. And when there's so much negativity from being on the pitch or the supposed unrest in the dressing room, they've got to try and get something out. So I do understand why they're doing it. At the end of the day, it's all about money, and they've got to make sure that the money and the people who are putting the money in are happy. So, we don't like it, we see through it, but it's done for a reason, and most businesses would do that anyway.
Definitely. I want to get your opinion, Kyne.
I don't think they should post stuff publicly about it. I feel like it should just be done between the club.
Yeah.
And not everything should really be public. I understand certain things. But a thing that does annoy me about United on Twitter is 90% of the posts have a link to the shop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going through all the tweets because it'll just be really long. But I feel like in a day, 90% of their tweets must just all be linked to United Direct.
Definitely.
I feel, everything should basically be kept off social media. Just the club does what it does.
Yeah.
When you've got people tweeting stuff, that's what causes division.
Yeah.
Because then if a journalist, for example, tweets United are apparently doing this, people then go, I don't want him, or why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And then people argue within the fan base, and it causes issues.
I pointed this out last week. I think it was Wednesday last week. I tweeted saying there's no news from Manchester United, and it's amazing. I think you responded to it, Gavin. I think you responded to that exact tweet. Said it's really refreshing. It was like almost a day where I felt like I wasn't on my phone much, but I was on my phone quite a lot. But I'm not reading constant story after story after story of this player is unhappy, this player's paused contract talks, this player's doing this manager's doing this manager doesn't want to come to United. I'm not reading all of that because it's not there, which is good. We'll get into the chat. Hello, lads. Hello. Hope you're all well. Hope you're well, Bilal. Hope you're well, TA. This club gives me so much pain. Same here. Same for the both of us. All of us, sorry. You will not catch me out there, Chinook. You will not catch me out there either, Pineapple. You won't catch me out. West Ham and Crystal Palace are up for a future goat. Hope he stays. Right. Kyne, he's typing on his laptop as well as being on the stream.
I've got a third leg.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That sounds a bit mad.
That's just how I'm typing, isn't it?
He's got Bilal. He's all signed in and he's doing it for him.
Yeah, I'm probably getting cooked on Kyne's post considering he's just posted about me praising De Gea and then not liking De Gea. But yeah, we'll get into more manager news. So this is from Fabrizio Romano. Manchester United will not decide this month on next manager. The level of English will be a key element. Eric Ten Hag is studying English after it became an issue with Spurs last summer. United want to make sure his English has progressed. Manchester United are understood to have met with managerial candidates and are believed to be working towards making a decision in the next few weeks. And that's from Laurie Whitwell. Hold on. PSG have made it absolutely clear in the last 24 hours that Mauricio Pochettino cannot leave. And someone else has put a point forward saying the attitude of the PSG hierarchy is that Pochettino will fulfill his contract unless they decide to sack him. They are not about to lose face by allowing him to walk out to join another club, another high-profile club. If that is their attitude, go get Ten Hag. Now, I'm gonna to end this topic. I'm gonna get your both opinion. Do you, at this current moment in time, do you think we'll get Ten Hag? Kyne?
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Gavin?
Yeah, I think he's probably the most likely. I think that's.
Are you both happy about that? Because I'm happy about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely.
I think
right.
That's one thing that most of the fan base are in line with. I'd say the majority of the fan base are wanting Ten Hag over anyone else. There's a small section who love Poch, but the majority is Ten Hag.
Yeah. Right. Marcus Rashford, this is going to bear with me if I shed a tear here.
I did try looking for that player, but I couldn't find it.
Which player?
No.
Oh,
I know.
right. Oh,
You know.
right. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna read about the Rashford news, which everyone will have. I woke up to this morning or afternoon, whenever I woke up, and everyone will have seen on social media. Which, if I shed a tear, just bear with me. Marcus Rashford is considering his future. He's concerned about his lack of game time. Source close to Manchester United forward tells me he's always been professional, but he wants clarity. His current Manchester United deal and runs out in June 2023. Manchester United. That's from Fabrizio Romano. Manchester United have no intention of selling Marcus Rashford and still believe he has the makings of a very top player. Telegraph Ducker, which is James Ducker. Two quite reliable. Well, Fabrizio Romano is very reliable. For me, Telegraph Ducker is quite reliable. For me, it's gonna sound mad. I've been discussing it with someone. I think Rashford should go on loan. It's like to even say that actually like annoys me because it's like, oh, he is actually a good player in my opinion, and I love him, but he's not been great. I think he should go on loan somewhere like Juventus if they want him, AC Milan or Inter Milan, possibly Inter Milan as a Alexis Sanchez replacement. I also think he could go on loan to somewhere, just to a club, which he will never. It would never happen. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It would never ever happen to a club who I think are looking like they're going to build something special. Arsenal. I think he could go on loan there, and I think he would do well under Arteta with Saka and Martinelli and players there. But I also think there's a possibility that this could be contract talks, like putting the feelers out there, trying to get more a bigger contract. I can't logically, I can't see Rashford leaving, but it would hurt if he did. I want to get your opinion, Kyne. What is your opinion on Rashford? Do you think he'll go, and would you let him go?
Before I get into it, yeah, I would let him go. I don't think he will go because the whole kind of Manc born and bred, and he'll probably get a new contract. But the thing is, it says about him being concerned with game time, and that's because of him. It's not like he was just randomly dropped and they've just left him on the bench or reserves and they're not giving him chances. Elanga came in, started showing that he wanted to play. He's determined to play and he wants to win. Rashford doesn't show that on the pitch. Elanga, when he's on the pitch, shows something, that he's got a bit of passion, a bit of determination to win the game. Rashford just currently, 2 years ago, he was outstanding. But currently, he's just lazy with it. He doesn't try. He does the same stuff. And then whenever he tries to do something new, he overcomplicates it and takes a touch too many, ends up losing it. Or he'll shoot from 40 yards out and miss. There's a couple of clips of him just hitting the ball for no reason when he could pass it, attempt something. I feel like his time here is up at the moment in time in how stuff's going. I feel like if he does want to leave because someone says to him that, you're just not performing well enough, you've either got to put your performances in or he probably will go because you can't be guaranteed game time if you're not playing up to a good standard.
No, I agree. He isn't performing up to a good standard. Like, I just wonder what's causing it. I wonder, like some players can have an off season. Let's be honest with ourselves.
But I feel like I don't want to say finished and use it as like a kind of football Twitter term and just go he's 24 and he's finished. But I just feel like in his head potentially the reason he's now playing like this and having an off season, because he could be back to it next season straight off the start, is because he thinks that he's done it already. He's been given the number 10, which is an iconic number for United. He's been given a fairly big wage. And I feel like I understand that, he was good with the number 10 the first year he got it. But maybe it's because that first year he thought, I've just been given the number 10. I've got to prove that I'm good enough. He proved he was good enough for it that season. Then a new contract, whatever, more money. And then he's just kind of thought that I'm now number 10. I'm on, I don't know how much, we'll say 150k. And then he just kind of goes, you know what? I don't really need to do anything.
Yeah. I'm going to come to you in a second, Gavin. With with Rashford, I'm going to give an example of. I don't even know who you can give an example of. But players do have off seasons. Let's be honest with ourselves. But with Rashford, in my opinion, and my opinion's changed on Rashford. If you'd have asked me 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4, 5, 6, I would have said he's good enough to start for us. It's just in having a dip in form. Now I've accepted that he's a squad. Let's be honest, he's a squad player. Sancho, we've done almost a Newcastle what they did with Joe Linton, but in a different position. We bought Sancho for £74 million as a right winger. Yeah, he's one of the best left wingers in the world. Like, how have we bought him as a right winger when he's one of the best left wingers in the world? And people go, why Solskjaer playing him on the left? Now you see, that's my manager. That, but anyway, right, with Rashford, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things causing it, but I feel like the main issue causing it is the fact that he's been through an awful lot. If you look at, I'm going to give an example, Bukayo Saka. And we've spoke about it very briefly. Players have been racially abused week in, week out, especially during the pandemic. The racial abuse rates risen to like extreme numbers with footballers, especially. Now, with Rashford, he got racially abused week in, week out. He missed a penalty and also got abused by the country, but like a lot of the country. I feel like he's not kicked on from that. Do you disagree? What's your thoughts, Gavin?
Yeah, I do disagree, because if you look at what happened with Bukayo Saka, even after he brought it up, that miss was sort of like a catalyst for him to actually improve and fight. And if you look at the character of Marcus Rashford, you associate that with him, with the fact of the way he does with the fighting the government with the food. And, he's been an inspiration to quite a lot of people on and off the pitch. He hasn't been right since those injuries. It's been a couple of years. I think he needs time. I think he needs to step away. I do genuinely worry that if we keep playing, he's overthinking it. He's trying to force. He's trying to say, look, this is where I can do it. He's rolling back the years and saying, look. But then he gets dejected when he misses a shot, doesn't take on a player. I remember him with that mad flick that he does where he goes one way and then the other. That's
I've got a clip of that on my phone.
And then you see, Alanga comes on, and although he's raw, he's doing things that Rashford was doing, but it's like it's affecting his mental health. Like he's trying too hard, he's forcing it, and he's making the mistakes. I genuinely think he needs a break. I love the idea of alone. I think he'd be good at Barcelona. I'm positive that they would have him on loan over there, and I think he'd tear it up. Him and Aubameyang up front.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That will be amazing. The Master Football fan. Well, we'll go through all of them, all the comments. Looking like Erik ten Hag is going to be the next manager. Will be an excellent move if it happened. First step to a better future if possible. Definitely. Definitely.
What we hope for.
Yeah. I'm not like. I think Erik ten Hag is a risk to a certain extent, but high risk, high reward. With the best. We are the best football club in the world, not the currently best football team in the world, the best football club in the world, and built on the best things. I feel like Erik ten Hag would fit that. And whilst there's 5 people in here currently, I'm going to just get a plug in, and I'm going to admit I'm very nervous for live streaming this video. But on Wednesday, at 7. Let me just get. I think it's Wednesday 5:30 p.m. UK time. I will be live streaming with an Ajax fan. I've got loads of questions to ask him and trying to find out all about Ten Hag. Number 1, I felt like this is a good video stream to do. And number 2, admittedly, I know next to nothing about Ten Hag and his style of play and his attitude and the way he deals with things, etc., and what type of players he likes. So I want to learn a lot more. And I'm looking to get someone else on in May as well. Someone called JP on Twitter. I'm looking to get him on in May, and he knows a lot about the tactical side of the game. So Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. UK time for that. Kyne, commenting here, aren't you? Tuchel wanted Rashford at PSG. Just a thought. He is a good player. Are we both in agreement that he is?
Can I just say something about Rashford?
Yeah.
I feel like not just you, Kyne, a lot of people that are backing him currently, I feel like you're making excuses for him. And you're saying, I understand the penalty and I understand it can be detrimental to how they're thinking. But you look at Saka and how he's bounced back from a crucial penalty. You know, the Euros, he's got a score to stay in it. After Pickford makes an amazing save versus Jorginho, who's a man everyone thought was going to score. And Rashford's been poor this season, towards the end of last season. I know we had the issue with losing the Europa League, but I feel like it depends how you take it, in the sense of pressure either crushes you or it makes diamonds. And I feel like he's built up to a point where that pressure's kind of currently crushed him. And whether that's how he's done it his own head, he's just gone, I've lost these finals now. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe he's damaging himself.
Yeah.
And I do think that he needs a bit of a break, but more away from football and the politics, just maybe a holiday. And I think he should be granted that because of how much he's done for the club over.
I think he should. It's going to sound absolutely mental what I'm about to say.
Thing.
Pardon?
It's almost a mental health thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I completely agree. And like I say, if I tweeted this on Twitter, I will get roasted for it. But and if a journalist said this, the uproar will be mental. But I think Rashford needs a holiday until next season. From this point, until I don't think. Let me just say this now. If he scores in the Champions League to take us through against Atletico or any team, I will not be saying this. I'll be saying Rashford's the best player ever in the world, ever. But I think I don't think there's any coming back for him this season. I'm not sure. I just think it's like a mental block, like he's saying. Yeah. This season, I think it's just the same. Do you know what I mean? And myself, and I'm not even a United player, I'm a United fan, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with me. I just need this season to end, to be quite honest. It's one of the most stressful seasons I've ever experienced.
I mean, honestly, I do think if he doesn't have a bit of a bounce back this season, towards the end or finds a bit of form, I do unfortunately feel like his time at United's over. I understand the whole, Mank born and bred, he did what he did. Politics, it's all good, but I just feel like, he's not really doing anything. Maybe next season could be his last. But I feel if you look at currently what's going on, it's rumoured that he could be leaving. He either gets sold or goes on loan. The loan could be a good idea, because if he goes to Milan or Barcelona and finds his feet, and he becomes that fast-footed twinkle toes Rashford we all love, he could potentially come back to United and be starting again. But maybe he ends up going permanently to Barcelona, and I wouldn't want him to go there out of all the clubs that aren't English, because I despise Barcelona. I'd rather he went to Real Madrid or even PSG and just find his feet. And I want him to be successful. I just currently don't think it is United where he's going to find that success anymore.
I do hope it is, but maybe you're right.
It's similar to the Donny situation. It could be that he has to move for the sake of his career to grab whatever it is he's lost back, and doing it elsewhere, less pressure. You're not having everything shine on you. Getting out of the country as well. I mean, for everything that he's done on the pitch, he's done so much of it off the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on him. He's helped my kids. He's helped you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done amazing things. But whatever is going on in his personal life or his his private life or on the pitch training. I don't know. I don't think he should have gone to the Euros. I think he should have stayed on, got some rest or had some therapy. I think it was a mistake going there. And whatever it is, having that one operation hasn't fixed whatever the problem was. We thought that would be.
I was aware. Maybe I'm completely off with this. I was aware that he had 2 injuries. Did he not?
Yeah.
And he only had 1 operation. And wasn't that operation on his arm or something like that?
His shoulder.
It was his shoulder.
Yeah. And didn't he have an issue with his ankle?
He had a back problem. If you remember, he did. Yeah. It was in the Burnley game or a Wolves game, but he had an injury to his back, which was never looked at.
I'm not saying that is like an excuse or a problem or anything. I don't know. I'm not a medical staff at United and a medical staff member, but I'm just saying it's a possibility because I've been thinking it's been in the back of my mind for a while and I thought, no, maybe I'm making it up in my own head. Maybe that's not actually happened, but it has happened. I remember it happening, so maybe that needs to be looked at as well. Because as far as I was aware, after last season, I was speaking to my auntie about it at my nana's, and I was saying to her, as far as I'm aware, he needs 2 operations to fix 2 different things.
Yeah,
and he only had 1, and then he came back, and I felt like he was rushed back anyway. Yeah. And that was one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's faults with all of his with how much I love him. That was all of his fault. That was one of his faults.
But I don't think I think it was more that this is where the players have a little bit more of the power than what the management does.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Pogba is fit, he's straight in the team. As soon as Bruno is fit, if he's had an injury, he's straight in the team. Maguire, Rashford, all of these players, regardless of form or injury or anything like that, as soon as they're deemed fit, they're back in the team. There's no conditioning to make sure that when they come back, that it's done on a gradual to make it so that they're all right, so that they're not rushed into it.
No, yeah, I do agree with you. We'll get into the comments. This is quite a lot to go through. Rashford has to stay. Thoughts? You won't get me on that one. And if he did say that one, we'll probably get banned from the platform. Really annoyed with Rashford, man. His footballing IQ ain't there. Not the most technical player, but gifted with mad ability. Just what he does with it. Yeah, you're right. You're getting called a Scouser here because of your Trent profile picture.
I no longer rep Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It's England Trent, not Liverpool Trent.
Yeah,
England
exactly.
It's coming home, by the way. I'm going to be unbearable.
If Trent goes to the World Cup, I'll join the gang that it's coming home.
I'm pretty sure he'll go to the World Cup.
If he doesn't go to the World Cup, from Southgate out.
I'll probably be singing Three Lions as well and get disappointed.
Well, we all do, don't we? We all go, no, it's not going to come home this year, boys. World Cup comes round, it's coming home.
It's publicly not, well, it's quite known that I've been speaking, you both know I've been speaking to someone who convinced me it's coming home. Like, it's convinced me.
Are you the one that gets all the flags up?
Me? No, I've never done that in my life. I've never really been into England after.
You're not a flag
since last year.
Oh, yeah.
Mate. Second it starts.
I probably will when I get my own place, like in many years' time.
He'll have loads of flags. He'll have Ben White, Ramsdale, Maguire.
Ramsdale for England, number 1. I'm telling you,
he'll have them all.
Oh, we're speaking about Arsenal players on the United show. Only us 3. I'd let him go. He's getting far too big for his boots. He's been dropped for a few weeks because he performed poor, and Ilanga's performed well. Not a hard concept, and you know how much I love him. I do, yeah. It's unfortunate. Rashi can start if he finds his form. Clay Torres is class.
Oh, you were so close to saying it.
Yeah, that's the player I said that had disappeared. I couldn't find it.
Wait, what? I'm confused again.
Yeah, well, you probably found one before, mate, so that's probably right.
Thing is, I'm really worried about Rashford. About his Rashford was awful end of last season too. He was, yeah. Feel like a lot of our team was though.
Yeah.
Gavin's your lights keep switching. I'm surprised people don't say that about mine because I've got Sky Sports on
TV.
Yeah, I just clocked that.
Yeah, it's just
yours a bit of a...
Yeah. Sorry for being late. Just bought a vinyl, so it's up sometime. People still buy vinyls.
Yeah, my dad
Mad.
does.
Yeah.
50. I don't know how old CR7 fan is to buy vinyls, but I know the older generation do.
I don't know anyone that buys vinyls.
I know my dad
does. It's made a comeback vintage. Yeah, apparently it has.
People make albums on it.
Oh, I tell a lie. I know one person that sells vinyls, but it's a character on a TV show. It's Peter Barlow on Coronation Street.
That doesn't count. I know one person, but he's on telly.
Imagine Dragons made a new good song. Rashford is finished in the hood. Rashford has a lot of pressure on him, to be honest. Which 24-year-old has that amount of pressure on them? As in, true. That is true.
I think he brought it on himself.
Kind of.
Because I feel like I understand, and every time I feel like it gets dragged to the politics, which it shouldn't. But at the same time, I don't think it'd be kind of as bad now and have as much pressure on him if he just never went into it. I feel if he just never did it, I understand why he did it, and it's good that he did do it because he made the government do a U-turn. He helped unfortunate people, and you know what he was like as a child. So I know why he did it, and it's good that he did it. But I feel like a lot of the pressure that's mounted on him has kind of came from his own decisions.
Yeah,
and he's kind of got to deal with it.
Definitely boosted his publicity, and I'm not saying that was the motive. It definitely wasn't the motive.
No,
he's with the likes of myself, Kyne, and so many fans out there. He's almost put himself on this pedestal where we look up to him now as inspirational, as somebody who is just so amazing for the average, poor people, working class people.
Yeah,
he's fought for us. But the problem is now the people like us, we put him on that pedestal, and he's got to sort of maintain that. And it must be really difficult to, at the age that he is, to stay clean, to keep his nose clean, to keep up the levels that he put out. You can't.
He's almost done the opposite of what Ravel Morrison has done, in the sense of Ravel Morrison went down the wrong path, but Rashford has gone too far down a great path, but not involved in football, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That probably sounds so stupid to me, what I've just said. I don't know whether it sounds stupid to everyone else.
I think someone's at my door. Am I all right just to go for a minute?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, trying to bait me here. We'll just get into the comments. I think it is Kyne. Yeah, he's on his laptop. What did you say, sorry?
He's going to find Clitoris.
Oh, I get it now. I get because I was like Torres, because a man can that, so I go Torres rather than Torres. With players like Rashford and Martial, I can feel how lethargic they are. Stand with the ball and waste time and stuff. No fluidity with the two players. I would actually give Martial another chance, to be quite honest. And that's a complete U-turn.
For Sevilla to make that decision, though, we don't want him. I was like, oh God, that's harsh. He's only been there a couple of weeks. Yeah, we don't want to buy.
It does say something that we won't get into a full discussion about Martial, but it does say something about Martial. That's like me going to 3 different schools, for example, when I was in school, and 3 different schools saying, I don't want you. There's a common denominator, and it's not the schools. Do you know what I'm saying? It's definitely to do with Martial, and that's all I'll say on it. Maybe it just isn't.
It could be his work ethic. It could. I mean, he is good at the hold-up play. I think he hasn't really pushed on from the raw talent that we bought. He had that one season which, on paper, looked all right, but it wasn't really pulling up trees or anything. You look at the likes of Kyne, Aguero, and those levels, how many goals they get per season. You're not getting that with him. And, it's only for the fact that season we had Rashford banging him in as much as he was, that it leveled it out. Otherwise, it would have been really, 20 goals is not a lot.
Well, I disagree with that quite a lot, actually. like
across all competitions.
Across all, yeah, because I think it was Sky who maintained this sort of. I think it was them who did it at first. Maybe I think it was Drogba who did it or Henry, someone. Where if you get 20 goals a season, you're an elite sort of player. Maybe that's different now.
I think I watched that. It was Michael Owen was involved in it as well, was
Yeah.
He didn't always have the highest number of.
He won the Ballon d'Or with 16 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how he did that, but
Jesus.
Maybe it's completely different now. But for me, the consensus is it's if you get 20 plus goals in a season, you're an elite. You've had an elite season at least. For me, that's the case. I wouldn't say Martial's an elite player. Definitely, the fact that Sevilla don't want him definitely says something about Martial. Maybe he just isn't good enough to be an absolute starter, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do agree with that actually. Maybe he's just an impact sub. It doesn't have to be as serious as he has to start or he has to go.
You say that, and he has had an impact off the bench before, but you look at him coming on yesterday with Lingard, and you sort of question the mentality of the players because, we're 2-1, 3-1, and we'll get into it in a bit probably with regards to the possession for on the screen. But when you're asking players of Rashford's ability, who for most people would have started because he's always had a good game against City and that pace on the counter, you need it. So to get him off the bench, you expect a level from him, and to not be tracking back, to be playing the way that he was, I think that's more unacceptable.
Definitely.
Be an impact sub. But if you're not going to impact the game, then why bring you on?
To be fair, though, and this is actually statistically factual, he has had the most goals this season in the Premier League out of anyone coming on as a sub. And
I said he had an impact sub.
I don't think anyone would have impacted that game yesterday. I don't think prime Ronaldo would have impacted this game yesterday. Ronaldinho, the likes, it just name anyone. I think it was altogether just a poor team performance in general, which we will get into in a bit. But I get roasted every day, but not as much as they have been today. There was 230 messages in half an hour where people were roasting me. I was getting at. I was fighting for my life in the group chat. I tell you,
I literally, I'm just going to nip and get the kids. Come back. 245 messages, and I was like, "I hate me for that." No way.
Because I saw you reading some messages, and I thought, have I annoyed you by what I've said?
Are you still cooking Kyne? And Hayden went, absolutely yes.
Sometimes it's more about ability than mentality, to be honest. No, definitely. I do believe hard work beats ability when ability doesn't work hard. But I also believe ability beats mentality when mentality doesn't work hard. It works both ways, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah. Rashford is Kyne. I am reading chat. We're just discussing a lot. There's a lot to discuss. Wasn't that back injury right before the first lockdown?
Yeah, I think it was, because it was during the time when he was smashing it.
Didn't he come off against Liverpool with an injury as well? And that
I think so, because I remember messaging my mate when it happened.
Yeah. Watched Rashford versus Burnley at home last season. Absolutely brilliant. I remember that game, but I don't remember it for the actual game. I know we won 3-1. I couldn't concentrate on the game because I'd already found out that the Super League was happening. The proposals were happening. It was the same day, if you remember. I think did Donny score or get an assist or something? So I couldn't concentrate on the game, but I do remember him being good. And I just got home and no, it's not coming home. It is coming home. I hope you don't qualify, CR7 fan. I hope Italy don't qualify. Could be 1, England 1. Gone home same times. With France winning. if you're going to involve yourself in politics and football, you got to have the mental capacity. Yeah, definitely to deal with it all. And sometimes it can get too much for people. Sometimes this gets too much for me, where I just have to take a break off Twitter or take a break off like YouTube. I've done it many times. I'm sure you've seen where I go missing I do one stream a week or something like that. It happens with everyone, obviously. Rashford literally spoke to Obama, all the guys, the entire world watching him. If he fails, he's basically done.
Yeah, but
kind of.
What's Obama? He's nothing. The guy's a fraud.
Well, he was previously one of
the
most powerful person in the world.
Yeah, but realistically, like, what impact does that have on Rashford? It's
a huge thing. That'd be like me speaking to. That's like me speaking to Fabrizio Romano, for example. It was like a huge opportunity.
I get that, but I mean, if you're Marcus Rashford, I don't think meeting Obama puts as much pressure on you as seeing people painting pictures of you on a wall in Manchester and seeing people that you know, well, not know personally, but Mancunians and United fans love him. And as he said about the pedestal, I feel like he's no longer just a footballer to us. Well, he's like he's up there now. He's no longer just, like a Wayne Rooney, who's obviously an icon for the club, but at a time a player. Rashford's not just a player anymore. He's now past that point of this man literally made the government change their plans.
Yeah, and a stubborn Tory government at that.
Yeah,
and
it's not just a normal government, it's a terrible government.
Yeah.
I can add to that. I was literally watching the TV earlier on, and on came an advert for Google, and it was bloody Rashford doing the voiceover and doing Google adverts, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's on the advert as well. It's Marcus Radishford.
Is it?
Yeah, do you know
Marcus Radishford? That is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, they do. They do that Kevin the Carrot.
Yeah.
I generally don't watch adverts because I use Netflix and ITV Hub more.
Basically, they do like a little weird thing called Kevin the Carrot, and they had a big group of them for some basically Christmas Carol trailer, and Rashford's on it as Marcus Radishford.
Yeah.
And they sold teddies, and they sold out everywhere. Cause I tried to get one because I wanted one.
Terrible.
Same with the books. He's bringing out another book in July.
I do think that's a good thing, to be quite
honest.
Sir Alex Ferguson's got books. Pep Guardiola's got books. Ibrahimovic has got several books.
You looked at Sir Alex and Pep there and gone, they've got books, and Rashford does. There's a difference.
I'm just giving examples of
I
people
know what you mean
with books.
How many people at 24 are going to have 2 books?
True, yeah, true.
3
even, yeah. It's coming home. It's coming home.
He's got 1 fictional. He's got 2 biographical ones.
Yeah. He wrote a story.
Yeah.
He's got one aimed at it's aimed at children, isn't it? One of them.
Oh, I don't
know. It was a collaboration, and he did it for W.H. Smith's, I think.
No, I've read one of his books. The orange one.
Liverpool, and match fixing has gone on. Might as well check Ralph's bank account. I feel like the Liverpool game getting postponed.
That doesn't mean anything, because it depends on how we win the game.
Yeah,
true.
If Ronaldo bags a screamer from 40 yards out, you can't go. That's because they paid the ref that.
Attitude stinks, Martial. CR7 fan says, what's happened with Sevilla and Martial? Sevilla came out last week and said, we absolutely do not want this guy. Basically, can we send him back? We can't send him back. That's what they basically said. Hold on.
Well, because that's what happened when the admin was gassing him up in like the first week. He was like, Martial pictures.
Look, I didn't buy into it. I knew how it's like.
I was like, just wait. All the people going, look, he scored.
He was on form, and we all knew how it was going to end.
Yeah, United fans already knew it. They were like, bro.
Well, some do. Obviously, Martial as fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. But generally, the logical person already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
we don't want him. His attitude is not good at all. That's what was going to happen, and we've seen it. And it's not like he is the issue or he is an issue. He's not got a great attitude. But we got worse when them two came on yesterday.
That's Lingard and Rashford coming on.
Yeah. The managers aren't the issue. I completely agree with that. Although I don't know how many times to say it and get roasted for it. I could get prime Pep and he wouldn't win with this crap side.
Depends.
I feel like, but we feel like this now. What 25, 26 hours after a bad loss. But if we beat City, if we beat Spurs and we beat Atletico, we're then going to be saying like, oh, there's 3 players that are the missing pieces to this side. Maybe a centre back, a holding midfielder, and a striker.
The issue with the Pep one is when Sir Alex left. If we then brought Pep in and gave him all the money that we've spent since Sir Alex, we would have won a shit ton of trophies.
Sir Alex has said he basically offered him the job, didn't he? They went for. I don't know if you two know this story. They went for dinner somewhere in a restaurant, wherever, and Sir Alex said, "The job's there if you want it," or something like that, but without saying it. If that makes sense, without saying, "Do you want the Manchester United manager's job?" And I think there's been a misunderstanding, and it's costed us like massively. Not everyone can keep City quiet like Donny Van der Week. Donny Ball in a few minutes. It is indeed. I've got Sky Sports on here, so
Everton are going down.
Larry's finger says, if Ten Hag doesn't join, what are your eyes thoughts on? You won't catch me there. You won't catch me there. Carrick in the Premier League studio. What, like Premier League TV? Oh, because you probably won't have like Sky Sports Premier League, will you? Because obviously, are you in Italy? Are you from Italy? I think you are, aren't you? I might be wrong.
Today. He's going on to what he's doing.
He's going to get an assist today. Hopefully, they do beat Spurs. Carrick speaking about Donny. Carrick was a great interim manager, second best interim manager of all time. Did you not see that advert? How you can win while being the nice guy with Rashford? No. I got his first book. I think his first book's in this house somewhere as well. We've nearly caught with the comments. Rashford's orange book in my school. That's his orange. Yeah, it's his orange book that I was talking about. Yeah, the champion. The champion book is class. Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about.
Yeah, Shan's.
Man, that Ten Hag is better than Poch.
I'm not a champion yet, so
it's clear you all want Ten Hag. Yeah, do we all want Ten Hag?
I want Zidane, but
all right.
From the candidates we've got, obviously Ten Hag's the one.
Fair enough. Right, we'll get into finally some transfer news. And this is from a quite a reliable source. And my uncle is going to be absolutely buzzing if he watches this back and hears this. He thinks this player is one of the most underrated players in the world, and I do agree. Manchester United are looking to sign a world-class centre-back in the summer. Antonio Rudiger, who I was just talking about then, and Ronald, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ronald Araujo are options. This is from Sammy Mobkel. I won't mention the other journalist now because he's not very reliable. But that's from Sammy Mobkel. Now, Antonio Rudiger. I know people say he suits a 5-back and this, that, and the other, but I think I'd love him at United. Like I do back Maguire whilst he's wearing a United shirt, and I back every player, but Antonio Rudiger and Varane. Wow, that is unbelievable. What do you think about that, Gavin?
I love watching him, especially when he gets into the scraps. He's basically Scott McTominay with ability. He's just seeing him in that Liverpool match when you got Harvey Barnes and going up against Kai Havertz and whatnot. You watch Rudiger play and you literally got a smile on your face the whole time. And I bet he's a character in the dressing room as well.
Yeah.
But he's since Tuchel has come in, he's really improved. His game has come on a lot more. And I don't understand why a lot of the Chelsea fans don't rate him. Because I see a player there, and I really hope that the rumours about him coming to us are true, because we're only an injury away from what we had yesterday. Because Bailly is inconsistent. Love him, play him till he breaks, but he breaks a lot.
Yeah.
Jones, well, you might as well just have a hospital pass.
Greatest centre back of all time.
Yeah, he is. No point getting him a statue. He is one, literally doing it. But we are in dire need of a centre back, maybe even a good one, and then get an up and coming either from the youth or something like that.
We signed one. Was it centre back we signed the other day? A youth centre back. He's 18. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember his name, but
Yeah, it was all over. Apparently, he's quite highly rated by like people who like watch the youth and things like that. Now,
Yeah.
Antonio Rudiger, I don't know much about Ronald Araujo or Arujo. I don't know how to pronounce it. But Antonio Rudiger, what's your thoughts on Antonio Rudiger and if we sign him, Kyne?
I'd love him to come. I feel like if I got to see him come to United, I feel like it'd be really good because he's an amazing centre half, and I feel like alongside Varane, that'll be amazing. And then if we've got Tellez, maybe Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's going to be a very nice backline with the Gea in goal because Henderson's not good enough. And that'd
Would
be
you
nice
not want a right back? Because yesterday I would argue that was Aaron Wan-Bissaka's worst game in a United shirt.
Yeah, but it depends if we're getting. What would we rather get Rudiger, Tchouaméni, and a striker, or instead of a striker get a right back? Unless they splash
Definitely get a striker, yeah.
Unless they get all of them and they cover it in this window and go in an absolute madness, which we could
Unlikely,
see.
but yeah,
It's very unlikely, but it could happen. Rudiger, I feel like, would fit us perfectly. The Ronald, I don't know how to say his name, but I've seen him play for Barca.
Yeah.
I watch La Liga for the sake of Real Madrid, and sometimes watch Barca when they're on. And he is pretty good, as much as I don't like Barca. I just don't know if he'd be good enough for us.
No,
since we're looking to win the Prem.
Definitely.
UCL. He's a good centre half though. But
following on from that story in the same article, it said,
I've just seen a comment. Did you see Foden bodying?
Yeah. Right. I was going to mention that. Right. If you look at me, I'm not going to stand up because I've not got any jam or bottoms on or anything. If you look at me, I'm clearly not heavy. I'm probably less than Foden's size or whatever, because obviously he's in the gym every day. So does that mean I could throw Aaron Wan-Bissaka across a football pitch? Like, how did that happen? How?
The look on his face afterwards, it was like, what?
Second-hand embarrassment I got watching that.
Right.
Right, so Ranić has been publicly supportive of Harry Maguire, so have I. But it's understood that a new centre-back will be high on Manchester United's list of targets in the summer. Let's assume, does Phil Jones' contract end in the summer? Is it just an unlimited contract at this point?
I think he's got another 2 years left.
Yeah. It was
wow,
wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's assume Bailly goes this summer then. Getting a centre back would make sense, surely. Whether that's.
And I think we need one anyway to replace Maguire.
Sorry, I've just received an urgent message there. I had to reply.
Lindelof's good next to Varane. But I feel like if you look at, even though good players sometimes have good games like Tuanzebe did versus PSG.
Yeah.
I feel if you put United in a Champions League final versus Paris Saint-Germain, would you rather have, Lindelof and Varane or Rudiger and Varane?
Yeah.
Like, I feel if there's the opportunity there to buy them, you might as well just do it if you can.
Yeah.
If we cover the main issues, because I feel like centre-back is an issue, but it could be waited until next season. If we don't tell any centre-halves, and then we just stick with Varane and Lindelof mainly, which I feel is the right decision at the back. If we go for that, then it could be waited until next season, and they'd have to spend loads of even more money. But they could even just go ahead and buy the centre half. Well, I think Rudiger's free, isn't he?
Wait, really? Oh yeah, yes.
That's I just realised that because Madrid were in for him, and it was like how they could sign Mbappe and Rudiger for free. So, I mean, if he's free, we might as well go for him. I completely forgot that he was free. You've got to go for him.
Calvert-Lewin, Kyne, you're Calvert-Lewin, aren't you?
I do like Calvert-Lewin.
Because he's English.
I wouldn't take him at United. No. I actually started to like him during lockdown when it was the Kazoo title race.
That was so sick.
Oh, yeah. Prime lockdown, man. Prime lockdown. I do like Calvert-Lewin. I wouldn't take him at United, though. I don't know what striker I'd take at United. If you're asking me who, I'd buy Kane. I wouldn't buy Haaland, but I wouldn't mind if we got Haaland. I don't think he'll set the league alight, though. He's injury prone, and I'll probably come back to this in a year, and he scored like 40 goals this year.
Kane has an injury every season as well, though.
That's true. He's also proven. He's Premier League proven.
I think he's dropped off this season. I don't think he.
Oh yeah, he definitely has.
I'll caveat that with there is a lot of unrest at the club. So I do think that he'd already in his head left. So when it then transpired that he wasn't going anywhere, that's what's had the effect on him this season.
I can see that. I won't put your comment on Kyne because I could get absolutely roasted for putting that on the screen. Imagine buying Rudiger, that would be crazy. Romano said we want a fast centre back. De Gea, this the De Gea slander in here.
Stop you Italian.
United. I will not say that. Sandro Tonali is better than Tchouaméni. I've not seen much of either of them, to be quite honest. But I've seen more of Tchouaméni, and I would say he's better, but I've not seen much of either. England are clear of Italy. They are clear of Italy as national teams, yes. Honest trash food fan says, hi mate, hope you're well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is 6 foot, and I'm 5'7". I probably would be able to.
You're 5'7".
You're
an absolute midget, mate.
Oh, this is what I used to get called in primary school.
I knew he was taller than you.
Who's taller?
Hayden.
Is it?
Oh, bloody hell, mate. You're an absolute dwarf. Messi's probably taller than you.
New and upcoming manager. You will not catch me out in that one. I read that. FC Cologne, who are flying in the top 4 race, winning 16th last year. Thoughts on him? He's fully lagging throughout the game. Deserve for dissing De Gea. Frankie de Jong can play centre. CDM centre back the lot. CDM
better.
Who's better?
Valverde.
I would say de Jong's definitely better than Valverde, to be quite honest.
I don't think he is. I think he's an Ajax fraud.
United are forgetting even if they buy a CDM, a centre mid is needed with Pogba gone.
There was a tweet.
What about Van de Beek?
There was a tweet about that earlier on, saying that they were looking for a central midfielder and a striker possibly, but
all right,
funds. So I mean, whether there's any truth in that, because there are a lot of holes. There are a lot of people who are walking out or wanting out. We don't know what the Donny situation is. Is he going to come back from Everton and fill that gap where Pogba is, or is he going to go, well, I've enjoyed my football, I'm off? So there are a lot of plugs that need filling, of the gaps,
Definitely, yeah. Dominic Calvert-Lewin could play, but he's too inconsistent and injury prone. I do agree with that. Calvert-Lewin aerial threat, but apart from that, he's just another Dwight McNeil. To be fair, McNeil has a better shot on him. What about the other lad, Charlie McNeil? We could play him next season. Harry Kane also very staunch on the anti-trophy policy.
We need to get some of the players off the bench to allow those sort of players to the bench. So
one player who I would keep is Mata. I feel like you're going to mention him. I would keep Mata.
Yeah, but I think Mata needs to be more of a coach. We've said this before.
Maybe, yeah.
Coach, ambassador, whatever. It's such a brilliant character to have in the club, and he genuinely loves the club.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I do think give him a season out in Spain, one last hurrah, maybe do it on loan, maybe even sell him with a view to have him back as an ambassador when he retires. So
yeah, that's fair. And Kyne says Anthony, David, Tchouaméni, and Rudiger and Max Aarons would be amazing. Can we put Lamptey in instead of Max?
No, because Lamptey just isn't good enough.
We were for Max Aarons a couple of years ago. When
right, Max Aarons. I've never really seen it in him.
He's good, but like I feel like I just kind of put him there because he's the first right back that came to mind.
No problem with Max Aarons. I thought that season that he'd get snapped up. And at one point, there were quite a lot of teams that were sort of going in
Barcelona and Bayern.
Yeah, and then nobody did.
Yeah,
and he sort of stuttered and stalled with career. I don't know. I think he needed to get away from the club, really.
Yeah. De Gea's distribution, bro. Let's not get into that. De Gea's distribution, fine, people overreact. The statistics say otherwise. Sandro Tonali will be perfect for us. So aesthetically good, athletically good, and very good on the ball. Shumini is the perfect option. If Ten Hag comes in, do you genuinely think we'll get Anthony? I do, yeah. I also I'm being sold on Anthony quite a lot recently. De Jong is clear of Valverde. Barely starts for Real Madrid. Needs to see Frankie De Jong, Van der Beek, Erik Ten Hag, and Van der Sar.
Yeah, but the reason he doesn't start for Madrid is because of who's in their midfield.
Wait, what was so funny then? Did I get baited?
Kyne, just please don't make him say that.
No, you didn't get baited. I'm just saying that I think he doesn't start because Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro. I don't think many people know who's starting that midfield.
I can't believe that, man. Oliver Closet. Right.
That would have been channeled.
Another bait.
It would have been like, it was a good joke.
Instantly, the stream would have been ended. I will not put that comment on the screen. He's been banging them in for Willem too. Testiculis is a really good pineapple.
What's a testiculis?
Yeah.
Oh God, allow me. In games where Bruno ain't playing well, Mata might be old, but he has quality. I agree with that. Even for 20-30 minutes, well, match. Used and abused.
He's a brilliant player.
Yeah,
he's still got that ability, and he's.
If he could run, he would be one of the best players in the world. Let's be honest.
You don't lose it. You lose the ability in the legs of running and whatnot, but you don't lose the technical side of it. He's still got that footballing IQ, the pass, the range, and yeah,
I completely agree with you. Haaland is so injury prone. I do agree with that. Norwich tax is killing Aaron's, man. Yeah, but Norwich tax is killing Aaron's. But Brandon Williams, in my opinion, has been a standout player for them. I was gonna say he's been like one of the best left backs in the league this season, but I can't say that, can I?
You're saying that, and I'm sorry, but surely if he came back, we'd have him as a right back. That's where we're desperate. Shaw and Tellez do a job.
Shaw does. I don't think Tellez does.
And at the end, going forward, Tellez is brilliant. He hasn't got the assists, but his distribution, it is good. Yeah. You look at the likes of Brandon Williams, he's a right-footed left back, which means when he gets down to the final third, he can't cross the ball. He cuts inside every single time. And it is so easy to defend against because you know exactly what he's going to do. I think a run on right back, see how he fares on that side. See if he can whip a ball in.
I'll definitely bring him back. I'm like 99% sure that Ranić has said in a press conference, Brandon has a future here. But I'm not surprised that he said that. Ollie said that about Sanchez. You've got to say that to keep the value up. But I would like it to be true. Definitely like it to be true. People seem to forget Matic will be leaving. Matic,
yeah. I do think he'll be a good squad pilot.
I don't think we need two CDMs because Matic leaving means, like, let's just say Matic is our CDM, for example, like he's our primary CDM. Then we need someone to replace him. We don't need, like, McTominay and Fred aren't CDMs. They are box-to-box players. We won't get into the quality or not. They are box-to-box players. Brandon Williams, Valverde living off that last man tackle. Van der Beek winning the ball high upfield. Son's just had a shot, nearly taken a shot here, been blocked by, is it Kenny? De Jong is more talented, but Valverde is a brilliant player. Mata, after 1 second, will be dead on his feet. Nah. Mata 2013 is better than any version of Bruno. I will not slander Bruno like that, but Mata 2013 was unbelievable. I can't believe that, man. I think Gavin's still shocked about it.
Going, if you just said that, oh man.
Like I can't believe that. Wow.
That's the thing, though. You're so naive. You would just literally fall straight into that trap.
And it's impulse as well. It's just impulse as well. Gavin is a fraud for snitching, Kyne saying. Thank God he did. Thank you. Jar is a scrub. No. I'm not saying that. No, don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
I said Annie.
Williams' best days were at left back. Pogba, Tchouameni, Van de Beek midfield. Who says no? I don't say no. 2021 version of Bruno was brilliant. Didn't mean to slander Bruno, but Pete Matter was different gravy. I do completely agree with you. He's the greatest player in the Premier League. It's you, 1-1-1. You can't have a slander Bruno. He's the reason Ollie stayed so long for us. Kyne is naughty. Right. Ralph Rangnick has said he got asked about the permanent Manchester United job. This is also tying in with transfers and just everything to do with the club. I have no idea. I am here to the end of the season, and it is important to develop the players. We have had 1 or 2 meetings with the head of scouting. We've not spoken about the new manager too much. This was 1 week ago, to be fair. And United Muppeteers quoted that saying, almost like we have a whole new footballing structure at the club, and one of Ralph's goals is to ensure we are actually using it rather than doing what one person wants. Ed Woodward. There are so many people involved in this football. There are so many football people involved in this decision-making process, which I completely agree with. It's 1-0 Tottenham. Harry Kane's just scored, and it's coming home as well. He's going to bring it home.
See you later, Donny. See you later, Donny.
Relegation, and I'm not going to give him too much prop.
The footballing, like the football people. And obviously, by no means am I praising the Glazers or anything. It's 16 years too late, to be quite honest. But it seems like they've put some form of footballing structure in there, doesn't it? Do you agree with that, Gavin?
Well, I don't want to give Goldbridge any credit. But he did actually say that Arnold been at the club for years, since like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a new appointment and there's going to be a difference. Kane didn't score it. It's an OG.
All right, was it? Was it giving us an own goal?
Yeah, it's
See Kane celebrating so far. The camera's on him, so.
So yeah, I like the idea of Rangnick going upstairs, but what I don't like is the fact that when we had that massive week of, well, basically shit from the corporate side of United, where we're saying, oh, this is what we do and this is what that is, and we're going to be winning trophies and we should be up there with the best. It's not new. It's not something where we can go, oh, finally we got somebody that's going to do something. He went to university with Ed Woodward. They were mates.
Yeah.
They've been at the club for a long time together. So unless we see proof in the pudding, it's just going to be more of the same. And I want to see results.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my hopes up that we've turned a corner until I see the sign around the other side of the corner. I'm there waiting, but I'm not jumping on board with it until he goes upstairs, because I don't know how much power they're going to give him.
Yeah, I do agree with you. What do you reckon? Are you positive about the future, or are you still skeptical, Kyne?
I'm positive about it, especially if in the coming weeks we sign Ten Hag and show interest in the right players. I've got a short list of players which I think are the ones I'd like us to sign. I don't think we will sign them, but ideally they'd be the ones that I sign. I'm positive about it as of now, especially with recent news of Ten Hag.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get onto Darren Fletcher in a minute, and one piece of news which I'm gonna be like, why didn't you tell us 8 months ago? Why did Van de Beek choose Everton over Palace? Yeah, why did he? Son 2-0 Tottenham.
Yeah, that was a good goal.
Yeah, great finish.
That's what we don't want. Son back on form. I mean, literally just before us playing them, that's the last thing.
Oh no, yeah. I think we're better than them. Like, we beat them 3-0.
Yeah, but I do like Son. I think he's such a quality.
No, I don't like Son. Not after last season.
I think he's a fraud. The guy's a crybaby. He commits dirty tackles. Right.
Sorry to interrupt you here. There's some breaking news. FIFA have announced a special transfer window will open at midnight tonight. to allow foreign players from Ukraine and Russia to sign for a new club. They can do that.
We should go and sign Quincy Promes right now. No, whoa.
Wait, no, don't.
David Neres, not. He plays for Shakhtar
Yeah,
Donetsk.
let's not sign Quincy Promes.
I got the wrong player. David Neres, we should actually sign him.
Yeah,
so the guy's a baller.
He seems all right, actually, Neres. Neres. We'll go on to Darren Fletcher. Now, I'm positive about a lot of these quotes, to be honest. Darren Fletcher on his role at Manchester United, with Ralph and his staff coming in, and Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna choosing to move on. We had a quick transition process. So part of my role has been to assist with that, both on the training pitch and during games. That pipeline of academy talent is a massive part of who we are as a club. Anthony Elanga has done brilliantly since he broke into the first team, and Hannibal has also been more involved in the squad recently. I'm working closely with Nick Cox. That sounds absolutely mental, that name, doesn't it? As head of academy, to look at the long-term strategy for bringing players through. We have to manage the balance between allowing them to develop and creating the right steps for that without creating pressure on them. Right, Darren Fletcher, if you ever watched this, why didn't you tell us this 8 months ago? Fletcher praised Eric Ramsey. People only give the one narrative about scoring set pieces. The biggest reason Eric was brought in was because we were conceding too many goals from set pieces. He doesn't concentrate on scoring set pieces. So, have we got no set piece coach to concentrate on that? Was it Ollie Solskjaer doing that?
Look at all the corners, 140,
140, yeah.
Yeah. But hey, don't worry, we're not shipping as many goals, even though we ship 4.
Sorry, Liverpool have scored 15 goals from corners this season.
Yeah, and there's that goal from bloody De Bruyne to Mahrez. Where was the marking? Where was the runners into the box being marked? I really don't see what has changed.
Yeah,
since Ramsey has come in. I'm not really seeing anything on the pitch.
If anything, we've got worse at set pieces.
Yeah,
I don't know how many set pieces we scored last season, but definitely more than one.
Yeah,
I feel with the corner defence, it was what Roy Keane said after it, was they just watched the ball. They didn't run after it. They just watched it fly over the edge, and then they've gone, shit, Mahrez is now. And it's a bit unlucky that it hit Maguire, and I feel like if it didn't hit him, it would have been saved.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate with the deflection, but we should have defended it way better.
It's this, and not only that, I feel like I don't know who is coaching the actual defense and not just the set pieces. But I mentioned this early on in the season, and it was such an issue yesterday. We don't defend as a unit. If you watch City, and I pointed it out when Liverpool were playing as well, and even as I'm watching Spurs now, they play a completely different formation and completely different style of play. But they move as a team, as a unit. They move together. We move. Everyone's like moving all over the place. Like why are you there? Why aren't you there?
It's just.
It frustrates me to the core. It's like, what are you doing? Why can't you just move as an 11 or as a 10 outfield players? Why can't you just do that? You can tell that I'm het up about that. I'm going to get into the comments in a minute, but I'm going to get into the first quote from Darren Fletcher. This is the quote from Darren Fletcher, the one that I disagree with. And I suppose I'll be able to disagree with it because he spoke about the stadium, so I'll be able to disagree with it from a match-going fan's point of view and having my seats moved as well. The support at home has been brilliant this season with the Red Army section and the rail seating area. The away support is always quality, and you saw how much it meant to be able to celebrate it in front of them after the win against Leeds. Right, the rail seating area, that is the part I disagree with. I've been to the Allianz Arena. I went in January 2020. And I went to the tour as well as going to a game. And if you're going to have that rail seating area, number one, the seats need to be higher up, so there's more leg room for a lot of people. We were when we played Middlesbrough, we were in the rail seating in the safe standing section, and it was just terrible. We were squashed. So you've got to have more leg room. So that would mean you've got to rearrange it completely. You've got to get new seats, etc., move all the seats. And number two, they've got it in a corner. It's weird. Like, it's almost like you're even more squashed in because you're in a corner. And when I'm at my normal seat looking at it, it doesn't look too bad. But when you're actually sat there, it's not that great. It's been done. It's almost like they've half-arsed it. And so I massively disagree with that from Fletcher. And they're the only quotes from Fletcher. I want to get your opinion, Kyne, on the quotes from Fletcher and the fact that he's also concentrating on training as well as being technical director.
I feel like he should just stick to his role. If you're given a role to kind of just do it, don't try and do something else. If you take it out of like a footballing way, is if you're at like your office job and someone's told to do the printing and comes over to you while you're on your laptop doing a document and starts trying to tell you to do other stuff on it. You know, you shouldn't just stick to what you're doing. There's no need for you to interfere with other stuff. I feel like with the singing bit, which is kind of what they're trying to put it as, there is going to have to... I've not been there personally, but from what you said, I feel like the way you've got to look at it is comfort does need to be involved. Definitely. Because if it's not comfortable to be there for 90 minutes, maybe 120 minutes if it's a cup game, you're going to not want to be there because you're thinking, you know, I've got to stay there again.
That is what it looks like. That's where we were sat.
Yeah, it just looks a bit cramped and it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a feeling of looking. You're looking forward to watching United play, but you've also got we're there. We're in this cramped bit where you're not comfortable. You've just got to see it through for 90 minutes, maybe even 120 in the cup game.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on what Darren Fletcher said, Kyne? Gavin?
I actually would like to see him pick one role and stick to it, like Kyne was saying. I wouldn't mind seeing him being an assistant coach. I mean, he wasn't a bad player for us. He was actually quite decent. And I think having him work with the midfield, picking up runners and how to do that technical job is sorely needed. I don't know whether we've got a coach that is qualified to do that sort of work. But I also remember all the fans singing about Murtaugh and Fletcher being this gangster man. You know, they had transfers. They're the Dons. They're getting massive dubs. And
in all fairness, as much as like this season has gotten very badly wrong, if I'd have asked you on the 28th of August, the day we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, has this transfer window been a success? You would have gone, this transfer window has been 20 out of 10.
I would have said it was 100 because we didn't get that DM. Yes, of course, I would have Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho. Yeah. They were Sancho and Varane were desperately needed. Sancho was last year's. The year before's. Varane was also the year before. We needed a centre back and right winger then. With regards to Ronaldo, you can't pass it up. But there was still money left over because there was 35 mil that was taken out as a loan, which was never used. So it could have got a deal. There were good deals available. So for me, there was always going to be nearly just not there. And it always feels like that. We're always catching up with ourselves. This year we'll probably get that DM, but we'll need another place. And it'll come in January or next summer. So it's hard to get excited by the likes of Darren Fletcher as a technical director when I haven't really seen enough of him to make a judgment. At least when he's doing something with the players or assisting Ralph on the bench, you could say he's influencing the game, he's influencing the players. I don't know what he's doing as a technical director because I've never actually seen that side of it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you are right. We're going to move on to James Garner, and CR7 fan says Garner is unbelievable, and I know he's a big advocate of Garner. There's only one report here, and I want to speak about it. James Garner is building his reputation at Nottingham Forest and expected to be given a real shot at staying staying at Manchester United next season, given the issues in midfield. I would, if you're asking me, I'll just say a new CDM. If you're asking me, I'll say Declan Rice, but it would be a new CDM, Garner as his backup. That's for me. But then I've got to worry, will Garner just become a backup for the rest of his career? Because it's the new CDM, going to be the CDM for 10 years. I assume this is about to be 3-0. No, it's been saved. Apologies. James Garner. Kyne, do you think he should be back up, or do you think it should be rotated quite a lot? As I will ask about rotation with the Ajax fan.
I wouldn't keep him at United next season. I don't mean selling him. I mean loan. I feel like he needs a loan in the Premier League first. You can't just, go. He played really well in the Championship. So, even if potentially we don't get a DM, which we will do, it looks like we are getting a DM. But then even if you want to rotate him, then games you rotate him. Say it's the first 10 games of the season and you rotate him in 5 of them. If he's bad in them 5 games, he's just going to become a backup. Ten Hag's just going to go, it's not worth it, it's too risky, he loses the ball, he gets played off against, they bully him. It's not worth it. So I feel like he either needs a loan to a Premier League team, or he'd have to stay at Nottingham Forest until they get promoted. I don't really watch the Championship, and I don't think they're a big promotion team. Because if you look at it, more than likely the 3 teams that will go down this year, if Everton do go down, they should probably smash the Championship.
Yeah.
I just feel like he needs a loan in the Prem, and that'll be a team that's maybe even your Villa, or taking away how shit they are, Everton.
Brighton even.
Yeah, like a mid kind of range kind of team.
Yeah.
Not someone who needs everyone to be at the best, like a Liverpool or City or Chelsea.
No, yeah.
Obviously, they wouldn't really loan him anyway. But if he goes somewhere, even like a Brentford, not where they're a bit near, but even it still shows what he can do in the Prem. And especially that gives him a chance, like he's at Forest, to be the standout player. And that allows him to be even better and look even better. And obviously, he has played good in the FA Cup games against Leicester and Arsenal. He played very good against Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. I would personally have him as backup. What do you think, Gavin?
I would get him into like Brighton or something like that. We could take Basuma if he doesn't go to prison. Now, I agree with Kyne. I do think that before he comes back home, I think he needs to get a taste of the Premier League. It's a lot different to the Championship. However, this is where it depends on the profile of CDM that we get. If we go for a Declan Rice, there's no point bringing him back just yet. If we go for something like a Chouamini or a Kessie, I think it's worth bringing him back because I think they can share the role and he'll learn and he'll adapt with those kind of players. Whereas, yes, he could go on loan to somewhere like Brighton or Wolves or Southampton, somewhere to really get a feel for what the Premier League is. But I would love to see him come back. I'm just worried that if he did, and like you say, he doesn't actually get his start, he could end up in the youth team.
Yeah.
You've got the likes of Shoretire. He made an impact. Now he's back playing for the youth.
Yeah.
That would be my worry with Garner. He's got a quality. He just needs nurturing a little bit more.
I can see that. I definitely can see that. We'll get into the comments and then we'll get into Ranić and Roy Keane's quotes, both mixed in together. We need a new manager announced by April. When the season starts, the manager should get started straight away. Everton are awful. Lampard tax. To be fair, they weren't great under Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, I got absolutely slated by the chat.
Yeah, you deserve that. You massively deserve that after your antics before.
I've got the names mixed up.
Tottenham haven't been good. Right, I won't put that one on.
Kenny.
Son loves playing at Old Trafford. He does. My friend likes saying to me, and Kane makes it 6. Where's that from? All right. When they beat us 6-1. We have a terrible record against Spurs at Old Trafford. We do. Hey, Mo Ibrahim. I hope you're welcome. Go and check Mo Ibrahim out. I have responded to your message that you sent me a few minutes ago. The reason why I wasn't responding very quickly is because I've been live, so I do apologise for that.
Mo, the Prince of Transfers.
Exactly, yeah. Hold on, I've just skipped load of comments here. Hold on.
I want to skip.
There is loads. I do apologise. Nope. Nah. You lot need to stop with these baits. The friendly baits are good, but these ones are not great. I'll start reading chat now. I do apologise. Garner needs his loan spot in the Premier League. That seems to be the consensus. Garner at 20 is already better than 25. Yeah, McTominay. CDM,
no chance.
The quotes on McTominay are unbelievable. Everton's remaining fixtures: Wolves, West Ham, United, Palace, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester, Brentford, Arsenal. They're going down, aren't they?
Down, mate. See how
going down. I assume there'll be protests with if they get relegated. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
Protests won't do anything realistically because
but they've never been relegated before.
I know, but you've got to look at them and think they've never been relegated before. But how long has it been really since they've been anything big?
No, yeah, true.
They've always been just flying around the middle of the table. Maybe at one point in the season they'll find form, but they've never really looked to me for a very long time like, they could be in for a Premier League title shot.
Yeah,
it was that when Everton got James Rodriguez and everybody was like, "Oh well, that's it."
Was it last season? The start of last season?
I think so. Yeah, because they were really good.
It was
challenge, and then they literally just dropped off a cliff, and it's been going down since.
Because James Rodriguez become a transgender.
Yeah, I remember when their messages got leaked.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Gavin?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It was a bit crazy.
They have got money. The club have got money in there.
And do you spend? They just spend it incorrectly.
Yeah.
They always spend loads of money, but they just don't seem to get the right people.
No, they just spend so incorrectly. Thoughts on here? CR7. They have financial fair play issues. Kenny's on tomorrow, actually, guys. Kenny Talks Footy. Go and subscribe to him. He's on this channel tomorrow for the Premier League game week review, 5 p.m. UK time. Rice, Garner, Bruno. That will be unbelievable. I doubt Garner would allow himself to play for the under-23s. Yeah. Garner has impressed me with how easy he is. Adopted to men's football. I refuse to talk about the hair we have. But if Spurs beat us to go ahead with 2 games, and I don't think they would. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be the perfect manager for Everton. It would be the perfect manager to come back to United. But we won't get into that. Right, Ralph Rangnick and Roy Keane quotes. We played a good, decent first half. We were competitive. Second half, from the very moment they scored the third, it was a very difficult game against the best team in the world on the ball. In the second half, they showed they were better. In the second half, they were the better team and showed their quality. We were struggling. Everybody knows how good Manchester City are, one of the top teams in the world. There was a gap, and it became more obvious in the second half. Roy Keane on Manchester United. The worst thing you could say is they gave up. Unforgivable, really. We saw United shortcomings today, but there are ways to lose football matches. Players not putting in performances, not running back, threw the towel in, which is shameful. Not Manchester United. There were 5 or 6 players there who should never play for Manchester United again. Manchester United gave up, and in a derby, in any game, it's unforgivable. I can forgive mistakes, but not running back, not trying to tackle. There are players out there who shouldn't play for Manchester United again. Roy Keane, who's running that dressing room. These guys seem more bothered about how am I looking, how's my hair looking, are my boots nice? You leave your ego at the door when you play for Manchester United. There will be statements, I have no doubt, over the next few days, but we all know we'll be making them through their teams on Twitter and all that nonsense. I don't care about any of that. This is Rangnick. This is his last quote. If we still want to have a chance to finish 4th at the end of the season, we can almost not drop any more points. Right. Roy Keane was spot on. It is 3-0 now, Harry Kane. Roy Keane was absolutely spot on. He made some damning quotes.
I was like, get in, yeah. See, that's what we need. That's what we need.
He should be interim manager. Not got a problem with Ralph Rangnick. I just want to clarify that.
He's talking like I'm talking. He's saying things that I've been saying. Why has this not been said before?
The thing is, it was very shocking to me. I was like in a sense, I was very like, wow, it's being checked by VAR, by the way. I was like,
yeah, he's offside, but it looks
he's just offside. Yeah, I was like, wow, like Kyne normally he doesn't hold back, but he self-preservant or whatever.
He's onside.
It's onside. Yeah, I've just seen. So with Kyne, he was spot on. There's a lot of players there yesterday who you're not running. Like most of us would die to play for Manchester United just once for 1 minute. And we would run our asses off. Obviously, we couldn't. I can't play football to save my life. I'm going to be quite honest with people. But I would run my ass off. I'm sure Kyne runs his ass off for the club that he plays for. I'm not going to name that club, but I'm sure Kyne does. And I'm sure
big leg as a goalpost. You know.
Yeah, we would do anything for Manchester
That's what
United.
Fred does. Fred runs his ass off, and sometimes, it doesn't work, but at least he shows that he's trying his hardest to do it. And sometimes he wins the ball, and when he does, you think that's so good because majority of our players do not sprint like he does. He runs to win the ball, it gets knocked past him, he turns straight back around and runs after it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to then go, oh, fuck it.
In the first half, we were good. Let's be honest.
Yeah, in the first
half, it was a mess. It was a mess of a game, especially in the first half. Especially, it was obviously all one-sided in the second. But we were good, and Jadon Sancho again showing his absolute star quality. He's unbelievable. But
talking about Fred, though, I mean, it gives me Wayne Rooney vibes of when he used to lose the ball. He'd literally get up and tear after him.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
bring the ball back.
Now,
and it is that sort of tenacity you need in a box-to-box midfielder. You want somebody who is going to put that work in because you need it.
What changed though at halftime? Something changed.
I just think
gave up.
They said, well, we ain't getting back into this. We gave our all in that first half and we weren't anywhere near them. I don't even think Man City played that well. I think we just didn't play well.
No, I do. I think
they looked better because, I mean, we were practically statues by the end of it.
Golfing quality, though.
Yeah, but it's Man City, innit? That's what they do.
It wasn't. A lot of people were saying yesterday is proof we need to rip it up and start again. We probably need to rip it up and start again, but I wouldn't use yesterday's game as an example of that. Because we've been battered by one of the best teams in the world. Surely that's not proof of that. Like, surely it's just a bad loss and they've gave up. They are lazy. We've known the lazy. I tweeted in October. Something like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably should go because he's lost the dressing room. But this doesn't change the fact we have a load of lazy shithouses in this squad. I tweeted that exact thing.
Yeah, but you can see that there is some improvement. So there's definite improvement.
Yeah, and we've lost 3 times in 3 months. Like that is good form. I know the draws is too much.
That's the issue. Is the losing? Yes, sure, we're not losing points, but we're still dropping 2 points. We're getting 1 point, but draws aren't really going to win you a league. Unless you're Arsenal in 2004. The thing with City was it was just the second half was we then gave up and went, they're just too fucking good for us. And then they clocked it. They clocked it and thought, well, what have we been playing at in the first half, boys? We know what we can do. And then you just did and bullied us. The last 15 minutes was 92% to 8% possession. That is a fucking joke. For every United fan who watches it, everyone who buys it, everyone who pays to ever do anything, it's a joke. It's disrespectful to fans. To then go 15 minutes, you can't even have fucking 10% of the ball. I understand City are good, but there was no effort. It's not like they tried it and got bullied for trying, and then you can go, you know what? At least we tried. We didn't try. That's the issue.
We lost 2. I think it might have been 2-0 against City. under Jose Mourinho, and Gary Neville made some damning quotes after that game. That reminded me of that game. Gary Neville was saying, "I've been." It was Roy Keane was slating Ashley Young, and Gary Neville was saying, "I've been there. I've tried to." And now Keane saying, "Run that extra yard. You got to." And Neville saying, "I've been there. I can't. I've like your legs just fold on you." But that game was very telling in the sense of we do need some reinforcements. I wouldn't say use that game specifically as rip it up and start again, but we do need to.
Yeah, you can see it. And the reason the City game is looked on and people are talking about it is because when you're playing such a good team, even though you know you're not going to win, in them last 15 minutes, you should still be saying, you know what, lads, we could get a goal. And if you get one goal in them last 15 minutes, then the rest of the performance goes, you know what, we did lose, but at least they did actually put effort in when we were getting battered. The issue is they didn't put any effort in. They were getting battered. Like, it was men versus boys, as they said after it. There was no effort. They weren't trying to win the ball back. It was literally just letting City do what they wanted. It was another training session, like it was the first time we played them.
I think this was worse.
This was worse because I mean, fucking hell, it's a joke.
And all of us three here, we've just agreed with that. My uncle, I was speaking to my uncle about it, and he was massively disagreeing with me. He was saying that Liverpool result was still fresh in the mind and still raw. It's literally 2 weeks on from that, and then we go to Old Trafford in the pissing rain, and they play like that. That's worse. Obviously, we stood there in Old Trafford as it's happening. So I'm remembering being stood there in the cold weather and things like that. But obviously, I would argue yesterday was worse because they didn't try. There was just nothing there. There was no spirit, no fight, no effort, no desire. And to quote Andy Tate, it's a cliche, but blood, thunder, passion, sweat, tears, and they gave nothing. You've got to give your all. You've got to give blood and thunder and passion and sweat and tears. You've got to do it again and again and again until you're blue in the face.
That's what we lack. We just lack the want to win. They were playing for themselves and not the club. That's the issue. Is they were realistically thinking, is there even a point in me trying to press him because he's just going to pass it over there anyway? Fuck it, I'll just walk. They're not trying to do anything for the fans, for the manager, for the club. They're thinking about themselves. They're not. You're going, is it worth me running that extra bit? No, it's not. I still get paid the same at the end of the day. It's ridiculous. They just didn't want to win it. And you could tell that, I mean, from the start, we were decent in the first half. 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. Second half started and it was just
0
nothing. 0, nothing. -1, if anything, because of the lack of effort. It's not like they tried and got
They might as well have not been there.
Exactly. You might as well just left at half time and gone, we'll call it a day.
There's a couple of images that are doing the rounds on Twitter, which are very telling from the match, which sort of sum the match up, really. There's one of Edison sat on the centre circle.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
He is up for I don't know whether it was a free kick or a corner for one of the goals. I'm not sure. And then the other one is 0 shots, 0 XG, everything on an attacking level, 0. The patterns of the play where they have the heat map of the City half, blank. And you sort of sat there going, wait, what? For the whole 45 minutes, we didn't actually venture into their own half. It's just, I don't understand what was the message when they came out for the second half. Sit back and just sit back. Damage limitations. We were losing anyway, so what was the point? Inviting pressure and allowing them to play around us, it was just inevitable that they were going to score.
I can completely agree. We're going to the preview of Spurs. Hopefully we have some form of bounce back. I would argue that loss yesterday it was up there with one of our worst losses of the season. I would say third worst loss of the season. Now I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict 2-1 versus Spurs, but I'm not confident at all. What are you gonna predict, Kyne?
I think we're gonna lose 3-0. I don't like to not be positive. Obviously, I do have a bit of it, but I feel like unless they go out, the thing is we're so inconsistent, so we could go out against Spurs and they will give their all for it and they will look like they want to play for United. Well, that's probably just because they're getting a shit ton of abuse over the last game, which not in a sense of abuse, but more criticism is deserved. I just feel like we could get battered. I just see us getting battered. I can picture, go to sleep at night, I can close my eyes, and I can picture them just running riot on us because they're just not giving anything.
I hope not. What's your thoughts, Gavin?
Well, I think we're overdue a draw. We haven't had many of those this season, so I've just got a feeling because of Conte and the type of manager he is, and he knows what on our day we can play like. I do think that it could be a cagey match where we'll run out a 1-1 draw. We'll all shake hands and go, right, we'll move on to the next match. But like Kyne said, we're just unpredictable. You just don't know which team we're going to get.
This is why I think we could win the Champions League, because we're so unpredictable.
This is it. You know, we could go out against Atleti and literally play like we did when we beat what's it called, Leipzig at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But then again, we could go out and play like we played in the other game, the dodgy one.
The game.
Can't remember who we played now, but you just don't know, and it's very hard. I can't see how it's easy to bet on football matches for Manchester United these days. I reckon there's so many people that have been made homeless because they put their house on a United win against Watford, Burnley, and all these different teams down the bottom half of the table, and the majority of them we've had a drawn or scraped. You know, it's just I've never felt this so indecisive when it comes to the team.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I'll get into the rest of the comments in a second. I'm literally just responding to a message my mum sent me.
Just thinking about, do you know the little post-match?
Yeah.
Thing with Micah Richards, Kyne. I found it hilarious. It's a bit funny considering what just happened. Kyne was absolutely ranting, and Micah's just holding in his laugh.
They have a relationship like a bond like that.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
They need a podcast together. Like I know they did like 5 short videos, didn't they?
Yeah, they did drive into Wembley.
Yeah.
And they did drive home for Christmas.
With Kino. Camping with Kino and Micah. I mean, them two together, it's just comedy gold.
Lock them in a room together permanently.
Well, when you see the likes of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, it's very cringe. You know, Gary, he tries to be funny, but it comes across.
He's almost like your dad, isn't he? Like
yeah. Shit jokes.
Yeah. You said about Anfield on the FA Cup match where Righty was saying, "Oh yeah, I touched this is Anfield," and he goes, "What are you doing that for?"
Oh yeah. So it's a load of nonsense.
It's childish.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I love this guy.
It's so amazing. I love it. It's just hilarious because
we need to bring it back to the club.
Micah just bursts out laughing. So I can't hold it in anymore. I can't hold it in.
Dislike Micah Richards. Like
I don't think you can. You kind of forget that he played for City.
Yeah.
Just there, you see him having a laugh, and it lightens up the fact that he just got battered on Derby Day. He got battered on Derby Day, but it lightens it up because Micah and Kyne are having a laugh.
Yeah. Kyne was spot on about the manager situation too. This is probably the most important appointment since post Sir Alex Ferguson. We cannot genuinely get this decision wrong. We can't. Hopefully we get Ten Hag. It seems that it's progressing.
We can't, but you're putting a lot of faith in the board.
Oh, I know, yeah. I know. I'm going to say thank you guys for tuning in. It's been nearly a 2-hour-long episode today. It's been one I needed to get off my chest. Definitely. I'm sure you both feel quite similar there.
Thought McTominay was spot on. I mean, he was brilliant. Sticking the middle finger up to everybody.
Yeah, like that, yeah. So that's what some people need. But yeah.
I mean, he was so blatant with it, though. He was proper blatant with it. Asking questions there like this, going, yeah. You're like,
you reckon he was just itching his nose? Do you reckon that?
No. The picture that I've got when he does it, it's very blatant. It's not like
You reckon he
Look.
definitely meant that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it seems like it did. It does mean.
He's not just doing this. He's going.
Surprised
He's
he hasn't
over
been
here with
fined
it.
for that by the
He's
Premier
over
League.
here. He's going. Yeah, you know, we did have a bit of a dodgy game today, and he's just there like that.
That's probably how he feels, so because he is a United fan.
It's one of them, isn't it? I got curly hair and I brush my teeth. You know.
Yeah. CR7 fan says, "Thank you, three beautiful bastards."
Not too bad.
No problem. Every Monday, 7 p.m. Hope everyone tunes in next Monday. Hopefully, we've had a win against Spurs then. I will be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. with Kenny Talks Footy. So I'm looking forward to that. It's the Premier League game with you. And then we'll be live. Pardon?
Kyne's going to get a haircut.
You going to get a haircut?
Kyne's going to get a haircut.
I wasn't aware of this.
You need it, mate. You're going all Harry.
No.
What's going on?
No.
Oh, God. If you lot seen my hair during lockdown, it was mental.
Make sure to follow TikTok football.
Yeah, make sure to follow the TikTok footballer, FTBLOBS on TikTok. No. We won't have any of that. Yeah, so I'm live tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time. I'm live Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. UK time. And I'm live on Wednesday I'm live tomorrow again for the Liverpool Inter Milan watch along. Hopefully Inter Milan make a miraculous comeback. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great evening. And